Hello and welcome to Indus News. I am Afaq and first the headlines. Oath taking of the newly elected members of the National Assembly is completed while 328 members of the House took oath administered by Chaudhry Amir Hussain. Security tightened at the inaugural session of the National Assembly in Rawalpindi and Islamabad. People's Party's co-chairman Asif Ali Zardari said that Nawaz Sharif is his preference as the new Prime Minister. Pakistan Muslim League Ends leader Nawaz Sharif said that the new government is inheriting nothing but problems left by President Musharraf. PMLQ's leader Chaudhry Shuja said that his party will promote positive politics while sitting in Parliament's opposition. Power crisis in Karachi worsens and Unit Number 3 of Wincast import plant trips, bringing misery to people. And 14 rebels are killed in clashes between Sri Lankan military and Tamil rebels. And we'll be right back after a short break to have a detailed look at the news. Welcome. The National Assembly has been completed, in which 328 members of the House took oath. The nomination papers for the office of a Speaker and Deputy Speaker will be received till 12 noon tomorrow. The election for the office will be held on March 19. The proceedings of the House started 45 minutes late than the scheduled 11 a.m. After recitation of the Holy Quran, Speaker Chaudhry Amir Hussain, on request of Naveed Qamar, said that though the members have not yet taken oath and were not entitled to speak, but using his power, he is allowing him to speak. Sayyid Naveed Qamar, before oath-taking, said that the members of PPP and allied parties would take oath under the unamended, unanimously passed Constitution of 1973. He inquired from the Speaker that under which Constitution the members will take oath. The Speaker replied that the newly elected members would take oath as given in the third schedule of the 1973 Constitution. After the Speaker's explanation, 328 elected members of the House took oath. Before oath-taking, the House observed 1 minute silence to pay respects to assassinated former Prime Minister Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto. Asiya Nasir was the first MNA who signed the roll. Then Sardar Asif Ali signed the roll, after which the members were called alphabetically and they signed the assembly roll. 121 members of People's Party, Muslim League Ends 91 members, ANP 13 members, 51 members of Q League, 25 members of MQM, 6 members of MMA, 5 members of Functional League, and 19 independent attended the assembly session. People's Party's leader Makhdoom Amin Fahim said that he did not commit any betrayal and won't quit the party. Talking to newsmen after his arrival to attend of the newly elected National Assembly, Amin Fahim said he did not commit any disloyal act against the party. Makhdoom said Asif Ali Zardari should preside over the parliamentary meeting of the party today. Responding to a question about banners against him outside the parliament lodges, Amin Fahim said that he would ask about it from Asif Zardari, adding that the action should be taken against the people responsible for it. City Nazim Sayyid Mustafa Kamal has said that 13,000 employees of the Karachi Water and Sewerage Board will be allotted residential plots before the end of the current year. Addressing a stone-laying ceremony, KWSB and Officers Cooperative Housing Society, the City Nazim said that KW and SB Officers Society had been trying to get the piece of land, and the city government resolved this problem within a short span of 2 months. The City Nazim also inaugurated Quba Mosque and a park. Kamal said that initially 1,800 officers of the KWNSB were being allotted residential plots on the construction work would be undertaken within 3 months so that the land mafia could not encroach these plots, while 13,000 employees would be allotted plots before December. The United States has condemned last Saturday's bomb at an Islamabad restaurant that claimed the life of a Turkish woman and injured several others. A senior official also reaffirmed the U.S. resolve to continue to work with Pakistan in combating extremism. National Security Council spokesman Gordon John Droe told a U.S. television that the U.S. condemns the latest in a series of bombings in Pakistan that have taken the lives of over 500 people since January. He said extremists that are targeting innocent peoples as well as Americans and others in the international community in Islamabad and elsewhere must be stopped. These terrorists offer nothing but death and destruction, and we will continue to work with Pakistani government as they go after these thugs, he added. And now we'll move on to the international news. Millions of Iraqis have little or no access to clean water, sanitation and healthcare 5 years after the US-led invasion, according to the Red Cross. The US-based agency says Iraq's humanitarian situation is among the most critical in the world. It warned that despite better security in some areas, millions had been left essentially to fend for themselves. Some families spend a third of their average month wage of $150 just buying clean water. U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney is in the Iraqi capital of Baghdad for a previously unannounced visit ahead of the 5th anniversary of the U.S.-led invasion. Mr. Cheney was expected to meet the top U.S. commander in Iraq, General David Petraeus, and the U.S. ambassador to the country, Ryan Crocker. He is also expected to hold talks with Iraqi Minister Nouri al-Maliki and other Iraqi political figures. The visit came as Mr. Cheney began a 10-day tour of the Middle East. He is due to hold talks with leaders in Oman, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the West Bank and Turkey. A suicide bomber has attacked a NATO military convoy in southern Afghanistan, killing 3 Afghan civilians. Police said another 7 civilians were wounded when the car bomb went off near the convoy in Helmand province. It is not known whether there were any militant casualties. NATO says it cannot confirm the details of the attack. There has been a sharp increase in violence in Afghanistan this year. Suicide bombs are increasingly common. The latest attack took place in the Gareshke district of Helmand province. British soldiers comprise majority of NATO-led forces in Helmand. And that's all for now. For further updates, stay tuned to Indus News.